So today I want to have a little chit chat with you. Now I know the title of this video sounds a little negative, 5 reasons why you won't make it in Africa. But it's to get your attention, because at the moment there is this great boom where everybody wants to move to Africa, whether that be Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, anywhere. People just wanna try something, and it's like Africa at the moment is trending. Now, the reason I do trending is because yes, everybody wants to come to Ghana, and everybody feels like yes, they have something that they wanna learn from Africa. But the reality is, as much as you perhaps desire to come to Ghana or to Africa, do you really have what it takes to make it here? Because in the 6 years that I've been here, I have seen people come and go, come and go, come and go. I've become used to it because it's so common for it to happen. But one thing I have noticed there are typically 5 main reasons why people don't make it in Ghana. And I'm not saying that, when we moved to Ghana, that we never ever had any of these problems, because we definitely did. But we were prepared to ride it through. We knew what we were doing it for. And so that's kind of like what I want to talk about today. So I'm just going to run you through the 5 reasons why I think that people come to Africa and they don't make it. They end up going back to wherever they're from. Okay, so I'm going to start with number 1, which I wish I could say that in tree or something, but I can't. I'm terrible. Anyway, number 1 is you come to Ghana and you are in holiday mode. Yes, you come here and life is good, things feel different. I get that, because when we moved to Ghana for the first time, it was like, wow. It's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna wake up whatever time I need to wake up. I don't have to set my alarm in the morning. I'm just gonna do whatever makes me happy. And that kind of works for a little while, but eventually you have to switch over your brain to realize that, hold on, I'm living here now. Things have got to change. I have to, although you don't have to have a routine necessarily, but you have to have something that you're doing. You can't just be out every day. I'm going to the mall to shop. It's not possible to do that. You've got to have that. There are going to be days where you're just going to be at home for the whole day. And I think actually for me, that was one of the most difficult things to get my head around when we first came to Ghana, because I was like, oh gosh, the sun is out. I like to say that I'm solar powered. So I like to, when the sun comes out, I'm like, oh, the sun is out. Let's find something to do. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go. Hold on. All those things, they're not for free. It costs time. It costs money. It's not realistic. It's not a realistic lifestyle. That is not living in Ghana. That is coming to Ghana and being in holiday mode. And although it's good to have those days sometimes, you can't sustain it. I'm sorry. Unless you're some type of millionaire that doesn't have to think about anything else, it's not a possible lifestyle to sustain here. And for most people, that's kind of what starts to trip them up, because they might run out of things to do. After a while, the whole nostalgia of being in Africa starts to wear off, and then it's like, okay, what now? What next? Learn to sit at home some days. It takes a little bit of training for you, but there are days where you can stay at home. It's fine. You're not missing anything. There's always tomorrow, so you have to change your mindset when it comes to that. Definitely, you must switch over. Next, big one, finance. Finance is, I'd say this is probably number 1. Finance is the number 1 thing that drives people to go back and just leave Africa, because without finance, man, Africa is not easy. Because you need it, although you can live a pretty cheap lifestyle, you can eat local, you can do all of that stuff. If you don't have anything coming in at all, it can make things feel very tiresome. We went through our own personal struggles here financially, and that could have made us feel like, no, we've got to go back. And there were a few days where it was like, oh gosh, should we? But it just felt like such a waste. And we didn't want to do that. We knew the reason why we were here, and we really wanted to make it work. And so although finance was an issue for us, we had to quickly be ready to kind of, switch our thinking and think, okay, what can we do? And that's one thing that I love about Africa. It forces you to become something. It brings out something inside you that you perhaps didn't know was there. And I love that. I would have never said that I was entrepreneurial in the UK. Never, ever, ever said that. But I'm doing things that are outside my comfort zone because naturally I'm actually quite an introvert. I'm actually quite shy. I know you're probably looking at me thinking that this girl, is she serious? I'm actually quite shy. But being in Ghana, things change, something changes in you. And it just happens. And so I love Africa for that, and I'll always be grateful for that. It births something in you. There's definitely a change that happens. And so when we went through our financial struggles, I was like, right, what can I do? And then, you know, we found a way to make an income here, make things work until we could kind of get over that bridge where, okay, this is how it's going to be. And we kind of understood now things are very different. In the Western world, things work very differently. If you find yourself in a very tight predicament financially, you know, you can go and sign on. They'll give you money every 2 weeks or whatever it is. You know, there's backups. There are things you can do. You will never just straight away be put out on the street. It doesn't happen that way. There are systems in place to stop that happening. Whereas in Ghana, it's kind of every man for themselves. Yes, you have people. There is that whole community vibe here, and I love that, where someone will take you in. But you have to learn to stand on your 2 feet here. And you know, the sooner that you can work out how it is that you're going to finance yourself, whether you're going to start a business, whether you're going to somehow work online to get money, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you have that in place very, very quickly. Because money in Ghana, although, you know, conversion rates are really good at the moment, money goes very, very fast. So I could change £100 a day, and by tomorrow, if I'm not careful, the whole thing is gone, and it would be hard for me to account what I've actually spent the money on. So money goes here very, very quickly. So you always have to be on your money, and you have to make sure you know what you're doing with your money and where it's going. That's why I always like to talk about budgeting. Yeah, so that was number 2, your finance. Now, the next reason that I have found that people tend to go back, or why they don't make it here, is what I like to call endurance. When you move to Africa, there is a transition period that you go through, and I like to call it endurance. Just as a person starts running, you want to learn how to run. You have to build up your endurance first before things start to feel okay, and you know, you don't feel like you're going to vomit after the first, you know, few meters or whatever. You have to build that endurance. It's a transition period. You have to change your thinking. You have to change the way you do things. There's a whole lot to learn, and it takes a while to go through that process. So if you come here and you're thinking, oh, you know, by next week I should be fitting in and this and that, you're going to feel very disappointed, and that disappointment is going to cause you to not like the situation that you're in, and that can actually make you feel like, you know, I just want to go back. For example, it takes a while to establish friendships here. You can get superficial friendships. They're left, right, and center. They're everywhere. You can find those, no problem. But to find like really good, wholesome friendships in Ghana is very, very, very difficult. I think that's probably something that I can say I probably still struggle with. There are a few people that I can reach out to, but I definitely don't have the same friendships that I had in the UK, because it's harder. I find that in Ghana, a lot of people that have gone to school together, they tend to stick to their cliques. They know each other. They have that kind of level, and it just doesn't work the same here. And I think that probably is one of the most difficult things that I think about moving here, is to establish really good, healthy friendships, like-minded friendships. And so you have to have a time where, okay, you're happy to accept that this is how things are for now, and it will take you some time in order for you to adjust to your situation. So if you don't have that endurance, believe me, it's easy to say, you know what, I give up, I'm going. And it's happened to many people. I've seen it with my own eyes. That was number 3, if I didn't say. Number 4 is along similar lines. It's adapting to what is here. I remember someone told me a story about someone, they came from the US and they wanted to come to Ghana. They wanted to experience all the sights, the sounds, everything beautiful that Ghana has to offer. When they came, they said they couldn't take the smell. And I was like, and they actually, I think they stayed for about a day or 2, and then they left and went back to the US because they just couldn't, they literally felt that they couldn't take the smell. And I'm like, oh, what smell? I don't notice it. Whether there was a smell when we came, Perhaps, maybe the air's different, things are different, climate is different. There are a lot of changes. Your senses will be going off in all different kinds of directions, sounds even, everything. There's a lot of beeping that goes on, you know. You rarely get people beeping in the UK like every minute in traffic. It doesn't happen as much, but it happens here. So you have to adjust your senses to that. And that person felt that they just couldn't handle it, and so they went back. I mean, that person hadn't come here to move. They had just come here just to experience what Africa is like, because, you know, there's so much buzz going around Africa at the moment. But it does take some adapting. It will take you time to acclimatize. When you come here, you just feel like the heat is unbearable, especially depending on the season that you come in. Certain things will feel unbearable to you, but, you know, you always have to remember, this too shall pass. Things happen, things come and things go. You adapt. Before you realize it, you're like, oh, I'm used to it now. I don't notice it anymore. You know, before, there used to be like loads of open gutters and things around, but, you know, you don't see that as much anymore. There was not as many tiled roads as there was before, but now loads of places have tarred roads. You know, it's some of the odd side streets that don't have it, and so you have to get used to your driving, and you're kind of doing a little bit of a dance like this as you go through down the road. But those situations are becoming less and less, you know. So there are a lot of things too that you have to adapt to. You have to adapt to the food that is here. You have to adapt to the water, you know. You come and you might have to start off with bottled water because that's what you can take. But as time goes on, you'll get a little bit more used to the water, and then you can move to sachets. I mean, sometimes when people see us drinking sachets, they're like, oh, you can drink sachet water. I'm like, yeah, I drink sachet water, you know. But some people find that no, they can't, their stomachs can't handle sachet water because there is a period of adjustment you have to go through. And I'm not saying that you need to vomit first and then keep vomiting until you stop vomiting and then you can get used to sachet water. It doesn't happen that way. Your body just needs time to adjust. Even to just eating the food, you need to have time to adjust. So just know that there is that period of adjustment, and it doesn't happen just like that. It could take months, it might even take you years, who knows? But are you willing to go through that? And my last one, number 5, is because you lack vision. You come to Ghana and, you know, one thing I hate, let me just pause for a minute. One thing I hate is when people say that Africa is a third world country. No, it's not. It's a developing country, and there is a very big difference. Africa is developing, and that is why there is so much opportunity here, because there is so much happening. There are things that, you know, you may want to do in the Western world that you can't, but if you come to Africa, there's a potential you could do it, and you could be one of the first to do it. That is a developing country. Developing also means that some things are not perfect yet. There are systems that are still trying to be worked out, trying to be resolved. You know, people are still trying to set things up here. That is why it is developing. So if you come here with a mentality of this is just a developed place, or you come with that developed mindset, you're going to have a pretty hard time here, because it's not like that. You know, there are still times when it's light off. Light off here is much better than what it used to be, but there are still days when the light does go off. Are you prepared to ride through that, or are you going to go back and say, no, this is not for me? Have that endurance. Stop thinking that, you know what, the Western world is your backup. That is one thing that has enabled us as a family to push through every single day being here. We never ever think, you know, we never consider that we have a backup plan. Our backup plan is to go back to the UK if something bad happens. That doesn't necessarily mean that I would never go back to the UK. Please don't get it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I would never go back. I definitely want to go back. We haven't been back for a few years now, and I definitely want to go back for a little, just for like a little break and then come back to Ghana. But I'm not saying that we would never ever move back to the UK. There's, you know, no one knows what's going to happen in life tomorrow, so that's always an option for us. But that is not our backup plan. We know that in Ghana, sometimes we're going to have rough days. We might have a rough week, even a rough year. We've had a rough year. We've had a rough year financially in Ghana, where things were tight. And one day I'll share the story with you guys as to how bad things were for us. But as I say, things pass. You know, in the UK, I've had bad days in the UK, bad years in the UK as well. It happens. What can you do? You know, there are just things that happen. It's called life. Not every day is perfect. When I was in the UK, I never had every single day was perfect. I had bad days, you know, where things just weren't going right. My car broke down, you know, something's happened, someone's upset me, you know, my son got ill at a point. You know, things happen. It's called life. But don't come to Africa and think that, oh, it's because of Africa. It's not Africa. You're just having a bad day or a bad month or whatever it is. Don't keep thinking that my backup plan is, you know, if I'm not feeling good for a week, I'm going to go back. If you have that, you'll always be 1 foot in and 1 foot out of Africa. It doesn't work. If you're going to do it here, go all in. Be 100%, commit 100% to doing it, and you will make it. Those are the things that I have found, that people come and they kind of don't really, they're not serious. I'm not going to say not serious, because that's kind of rude. Not that they're not serious. They have all the best intentions, but intentions can only take you so far. After that, it's about deliberate action. Deliberate action is what will help you make it. People have come here and have done fantastic things that they would never be able to do in the Western world. And, you know, there's opportunity for you here to also do the same. And I'm a great champion for Africa, and, you know, trying to move back to the continent and do all the wonderful things. And I really just, I believe that if you come with the right intentions and the right mindset, you can do anything you want here. You know, if you don't want to come alone, get a team of you to come. It's possible for you to come and work together and make it happen, you know. But don't look at Africa as a backup plan, or don't look at it as in, oh, it's just a buzz at the moment. It's not like that. It's a lifestyle choice. It's something you're choosing to do, so therefore you make it work. You know, you don't go to work and say, oh, today I've had a bad day at work, so I'm not coming back tomorrow. It's not like that. You don't have that option. You've got to go the next day and the next day and the next day. You push through, or you have to go get another job, whatever it is going to be. But you have to have commitment. It's all about commitment in order to make it. So anyway, before I start talking way too much, I just want to wrap up for you. So basically, if you want to come to Ghana or Africa, make the move. Don't be hesitant about it. Make the move. Just make sure you have those five things on lock that I've spoken about. But your finance definitely is number one, because that is the number one thing that drives people to go back. So put something into place where you know that you can establish yourself here, and once finance is not an issue, things get a lot brighter after that. But anyway, guys, that is all from me today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. I was actually looking at my analytics the other day, and I noticed that quite a few of you watch my stuff, but you haven't actually hit that subscribe button. You might have forgotten, I don't know. But anyway, I would appreciate very much if you would hit that subscribe button, and also the notification bell, so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified and you won't miss a thing. Okay guys, until next time, I hope everything's going good. Leave me some comments below. Let me know what you think about what I've said, and let's talk, guys. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me there as well. Guys, until next time, I'm out.